And looks like Steph Young has the first question. Go ahead, Steph.
Thank you, Aaron. Hi, Sophia. We just talked to Blacko about positional flexibility amongst forwards like yourself and Mel Pugh. What's your approach to that same flexibility being asked to play left or right or even in the nine position? Crystal Dunn talked a little bit about how it really does take a lot of mental effort and work to learn. Obviously, it's not quite the same defense, midfield, forward, but for you, what's your approach to, being good at positional flexibility?
Yeah, I think positional flexibility is huge. I think it helps contribute a lot to the team. And being able to just play where the coach wants you to, where the coach best sees you fit, is super important. And I think that whatever position that Vlatko wants me in, I think, I can embrace it and play it to the best of my abilities.
Is there any extra work you have to do in order to, kind of consciously adjust, like, this is what I need to do here, this is what I need to do here, etc.?
All around, I think it's just, controlling what I can control, and making sure that I am doing what is needed in that role, whatever role it is that I'm in. I don't think, all the forward positions are too different from each other. They all require, the same skill set, the same mindset. And obviously, it's always, how can we help the team in whatever position that is.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Let's go to Tino Bovenzi again. Go ahead, Tino.
Hey there. Obviously, as one of the younger players on the team, you have the opportunity to pick the brain of legends and some figures on this team that are pretty important, historically speaking. So, what have you learned from Carly Lloyd during your time with the U.S. women's team?
Yeah, so I have actually had the pleasure of sitting with Carly we have assigned meal tables for COVID protocols, but the past few camps I've been in, have been able to be at the same table as Carly, and I definitely don't take that for granted. I pick her brain, I ask her questions, I just try to learn from her because she's been through it all. She has an experience unlike anyone, and so for me to be able to be in the presence of that and use that for me, I'm gonna take advantage of that because it's not every day that you get to interact and talk with a legend. Um, Carly's amazing. There really is no one like her. And getting to learn more about her, you really start to understand why she is who she is, why she's accomplished what she's accomplished, and she's just different. She does everything, exactly how she needs it to be done, and that's what separates her. That's what makes her great. And she doesn't care what anyone else thinks, and I think that's one of the biggest qualities of Carly that I admire is she does not care because she's doing what she needs to do, and that's all that matters. So Carly's amazing, and I'm just lucky to be able to have these few camps to learn from her and witness her being exactly who she is.
Excellent. Let's go to Alex Ozzy, and if anyone else has any questions for Soph, please raise your hand. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, thanks so much for taking the time, Sophia. I love this idea of the assigned meal tables. Can you kind of paint the picture a little bit more for us? Who else is at the table, and do you know who chooses who sits where at the beginning of camp?
I believe it's higher up that chooses who sits with who. I know we can kind of give little hints here and there, but this camp, it's me, Carly, Kelly, and Lindsay. So it's a pretty entertaining table. A lot of different personalities going on, but I'm just lucky, to be able to be at that table and learn from so many great players. But it's a fun table. It's been kind of consistent for at least the camps I've been to. I've been with Carly a lot. I've been with Lindsay a lot, Kelly. So I think, it's up to some other people, but they do a really good job of it because I think everyone ends up pretty happy. I do, at least.
One follow up on that, is it like high school lunchroom vibes? Like, do different tables have like different personalities and things they're known for?
For sure. We're table 3. That's what we go by. I mean, it's just fun. I think every table, is proud of their table. But yeah, it's just fun.
Thanks. And they do not make Soph get their meals for them. So
Yeah, yeah.
uh, even though Carly said to, you probably would.
I would. I
Um,
would.
yeah. Let's go to Simon Borg. Go ahead, Simon.
Hi, Sophia. I'm curious your take on joining this team after the Olympics. We just talked to Vlatko, and he talked about how he's really helping the team evolve from what it was at the Olympics. And I'm just curious, what are some of the differences that maybe stand out to you from other camps you've been part of to this one, and how things are moving in maybe slightly different direction, anything new that you've been able to pick up on, whether, again, team dynamics or on the field or what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I think what's stood out to me the most is there's a lot of emphasis on being a team, and not just on the field, off the field as well. Obviously, there's, a big age range on this team, but I don't think that matters. I think, there's mutual respect between everyone and every player, and between the players and the staff. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I'd say that, I've got from this camp so far is that we have to be a team. In order to win big games, we have to have that chemistry on the field, and that chemistry on the field comes from chemistry off the field. So just, working together on the field, always having the best interest of our team, being selfless, playing selfless, and doing whatever we can to help this team win. I think that's huge, and I think that's a very important thing moving forward that we need to, pay attention to and figure out so that we can continue to just get better.
Is if I may, a follow-up, is the meal buddy system part of that kind of building team chemistry? Are there other things that the team is doing, the group off the field to kind of help that along as well, that's maybe new to previous camps?
Yeah, I mean, I think the table system obviously helps with that, because you're sitting with a group of players that you get to know really well, and maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. But I think just every day, just in camp, in meals, and in every little thing that we do, I think we're always trying to learn more about each other and get to know each other, and just build those relationships, individually, so that when we do step on the field, we're comfortable with each other, we know each other really well. And I think just, everything that we do is, for that, for building the team chemistry.
Thanks.
Thanks, Simon. Unless anyone else raises their hand, it looks like the last one will go to Grant Little. Go ahead, Grant.
Hey, Sophia, thanks for taking the time. I believe this was your longest run out with the women's national team in the last match against Paraguay. I was wondering if you could maybe just critique your performance, what you did well, what you didn't do well, or maybe need to improve on. And I was also wondering if you realized that you had previously played against 4 of the Paraguayan players in the U20 World Cup in 2018, and if you had any chats with them.
I didn't have any chats with them, but I was made aware of that before the game, which I think is really cool. I think performance-wise, my main focus was just to go out and be confident, and be myself. I'm really happy with where I've been, in regards to my play in the league, and I just wanted to continue that, and try to contribute to the team in any way that I possibly could. And I think just playing confident and playing free, and not overthinking everything is key for me. It's a big stage. It's the biggest stage that I can play on, and I think with that comes a lot of pressure, but to kind of use that pressure and be excited about it and control what I can control, I think is huge. And it's always an honor to get minutes with this team and to represent this country. So to embrace that, and to always remember to have fun, because that's the most important thing.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Soph. Have a great lunch at table 3.
Thank you.